Wow, this wash looks really good. Really nice. But welcome back, welcome back. It's been a while. I haven't had much chance to come down here and look for a good spot, so we're gonna have to wing it. But I know a good spot's got potential, so I'll get with you when we get down there and get set up. Could get good today, I don't know. Here's something you never hardly ever see around here. Base clay exposed. Now we know just how deep it is right here. All right, let's get started. Okay, right in here is where I'm talking about. Got a lot of branches, but as you can see, same principle. I didn't have time to come down and do any sample screenings to make sure it was a good spot, so we're winging it today. But I'm going off of all the other experiences I've learned down here of this lip. There's a lip and it's high banked right here. It goes around to this tree here. I mean, a lot of obstacles. So I'm going to clear out all these branches so I can get in here. I'm going to get right around this bush here. This could really be a good place, could be nothing. You never know, but we're bound to find something. Okay, we got one. Finally, it took about 5 or 6 screens, but we got one. But look at this here, I want to show you this first. There was an old homestead here. I find a lot of old stuff from like 1800s. I thought this was a little, like a medicine vial at first, but you know what that is? It's top half to an egg timer. It's like an amber color. Really cool. Just the top half is busted open right there where the sand would have come down through. So that's cool, but look at this. But the reason I say there's an old homestead, look at this. This would be a good craft project. Here's a board that came out of an old house. Still got the nail holes in it and everything. It's hemlock pine. Came right out of the bottom of that muck down under there. It's been under there a long time. They made all these old houses out of hemlock pine around here. I think it's endangered now. You're not allowed to cut it. But look at this. There's a flake right there. Nice one. Looks like an Adena point. Let me put this stuff in my pocket here. Yeah, not a bad one here. Adena. This is a newer point. This wouldn't have been a dart point. This would have been a knife. As you can see right here, the shape of it. This probably would have been the cutting edge. This curved edge here. And you'll notice these Adena points, they'll have like a really elongated notch here above the stem. And then they'll have a sharp, more of a 90 degree on this side. And I'm assuming that was when it was hafted in the knife blade or in the handle. It wouldn't, if it was this way and they try to cut something, it might cut back into the handle. But with this sharp 90 on here, you know, it gave it a little more leverage to cut down into stuff and wasn't able to cut back into the handle. That's my theory anyways, because, I mean, why would the Adena culture need huge points like this for an atlatl when they had bow and arrows? Would have been senseless. You know, that's like comparing a Model T to a Ferrari. You know, once the bow came along, I'm sure those atlatls went by the wayside. But you know, you had the old man or the grandpa. We've been doing it like this, and we've been doing it like this for hundreds of years, thousands of years. We're not changing it now with this little fandangled thing that came in. So we got our little Adena blade and our half an egg timer and our flakes. It's a good start to the day. I thought I saw something back in there. But look, we got a killer in here. We got a killer. It is a nice one. Oh, it's a nice one. We got two things, but one of them's busted, but one of them's killer. Look at this one first. You can't miss it. I know you see this point, but I'm gonna pick this up first, this broken one. It's right here. I was trying to figure out what this is. It's worked all down this side, and it might have a little nick there, and it's worked all over on this rounded edge here. Here it is snapped off. I have no idea. I'm holding this all different directions, but I have no idea what that would have been. You know, somebody thinking out of the box maybe just made something different. Look at this. Oh, right there's a small pottery shard. Nothing great, but small one. But look at this right there, and it is all there. Oh, it is nice, real nice, very well made. It's a local chert, just from a cobble found in a creek or here along the river. You can see it's darker on one side, probably closer to the cortex. Oh yes, yes, right here it has cortex on the base. That is really cool, and it's got like a piece of the cortex right there swirled into it. Look at that. Very nice point. I'll put pictures of this, high definition pictures, in the closing music so you can see it. That is a very nice point right there. Really nice one. No bevel. Well, even if they were grinding this, it wouldn't have had to. They got the cortex on the bottom. There's a pottery shard, a broke, and point number 2. And I think this is a blade, and this is an atlatl dart point. Very nice one too. Very nice one. Let's get back at it. It's getting good. Okay. Now, I'm not saying it is, and I'm not saying it isn't. I got something in the screen. I got a couple of things. I'll let you decide, but I can't figure it out. Now, you won't see it if I scan it, so I'll just pick this stuff up. Right here is got a little scraper. Same as always, unifaced on the back side, and then fine edge work around a curved top like that. Probably just either a thumb scraper or hafted in a piece of bone or something. Scrape hides probably. But here's what I'm talking about. Now, it's a bone, and I have found these honey amber colored bones down here before, just a couple of shards of them. Really, really old bones. But look at this, like petrified. I'm not saying it's human, and I don't know if it's animal, but I picked this up already, and I tried to research small bones for animals around here, and I thought first, you know, maybe a beefy little leg bone off an animal, but I don't know of a little animal that has that short and heavy of a bone. Not a bird bone, and I don't know, could be it's about that size right there, but it also looked like a bear claw bone. Look those up. If anybody is good with identifying bones, please let me know on this one. There's a little offset joint on the back side. Very strange. Like I say, I'm not saying it is, and I'm not saying it isn't, but we'll put him right here. Very strange find. Very strange find. Let's get back at it. There's something you don't see often. A sailboat on the Ohio River. getting hot out here. Okay, we got some cool stuff in here. A couple things. Not real cool, but not bad. First here, look at this. I couldn't figure out what that was at first. It's a rowboat, where your oar goes in it to row the rowboat. Row your boat. Pretty rusted though. Look at this here. It's a hematite stone. It's totally faceted flat on the bottom, real nice facet. And they've rubbed it all around the side, smoothed it all up. Real nice facet here. And it looked like it was naturally dished out, like it had a little nodule that was softer in there. They may have had like a natural dish that they just kept scratching the pigment out of. But if that was it, then it broke on them because they have faceted the side right here flat. So maybe they did that when it was being used and then just rubbed that side flat. I don't know, but that's a pretty cool piece. And here looks like I knew there was an old homestead here. Now this is what looks to be off an old gas stove, one of those little single burning gas stoves. The valve, I'd say that's what that is. Turn the gas on and off. But look at this nutting stone. It's cool. It's broken. I wish it wasn't, but you know, it's like a little cube, and it's got nutting holes started on every side. But it's this one here, it has broken a chunk out right there. But that was really cool. Little single handheld nutting stone. Probably had two of them like dice. Probably rolling it. Little bear, he probably kept coming up snake eyes and crapping out. Probably kept saying, man, what the hell's wrong with these dice, man? Yeah, that's pretty cool. Now here's some stuff I didn't show. Here, let me sit that down. I have some stuff here I did not show. There's our hematite. I found several hematite pieces that are rubbed, but not really good examples. Like this one, it's been rubbed here and there. Now this one's not bad. It's flat on both sides and it's got a little rubbing there. This small one has been exhausted down to nothing. It's got like a little wedge. Sometimes they got, you know, kind of artistic with their stuff. Sometimes it was just rub it to get paint. Of course, our flakes. But I didn't show a lot of this stuff. This looks like a little broken, shattered point. I can see remnants of a notch over there. So hard to tell what that was. Had two broken midsections here, and this one was really nice flint, but of course it's busted. And then another scraper. The top's good, the scraping edge, just like that one there, but it's broken off the back. And then what looks to be the stem of a large knife or a stem point right there. Now I'm just going to go over nutting stones. Now there's several theories on these nutting stones, but I've found over 100 down through here, and just studying them over and looking at them, I think this is the best theory that makes the most sense. Now, for years, they made points by taking, you know, flint and just a hard stone cobble like this is actual hammer stone here, and just hit the flint like that to nap the point out. Until later on, I assume it must have been later on, that they found that you could use a deer antler or a moose antler, elk antler, right where it joins into the head, the thickest part, and then they would cut a piece off, maybe about this size, or as long as they could, I would assume, to save as much as possible, and they would round this over on the end, make it round. And then when they would nap their points, it does a lot better than a stone, just because it grabs a flake better. It's hard, but over time, the end of their billet, their antler billet, would get chipped up and worn out. Unlike a stone, they could just throw it away, go get a new stone. But the antler billet, it was a little more valuable. They just didn't come along as easily. So they had a nutting stone, which usually are, I've seen hard ones, but 99.9 of them I've found are sandstones. And they would start pecking a hole in the nutting stone. Now I have found larger, nice examples like this one. As you can see, all the holes are uniform and the same, with rotary motion scars in them. And after that got all chipped up, they had to smooth that up. Well, it was kind of hard with a knife to sit there and straighten that up, so they came up with an idea of a nutting stone where they would take a soft sandstone that was like sand, gritty, you want it kind of gritty, and they would peck a hole in it, I assume with a hard stone to get it started, and once they got it pecked down so far, they could stick their antler billet into the hole and dress up that end like this. And once the hole got so deep and wallered out, they would have to go over and start a new hole. And that's what I'm thinking. There are so many holes in those nutting stones. Maybe they started with a long billet and they had to dress it so many times. And then once that nutting stone was used up, or that antler billet was used up to a point where they couldn't nap with it any longer, then they threw that nutting stone away, because the next antler billet they get would maybe be a little larger or a little smaller. It wouldn't fit those holes. So it's a custom tool to a napping tool, to dress a napping tool, and that's what I think it's for. And some of these nutting stones you see that have just, you know, 2 holes in them maybe, or 1 hole. Maybe they just had a small piece of antler billet to start with, and by the time they used that hole up, the antler billet was worn out anyway. I had to go borrow their buddies in. Borrow your buddy's tools. So I just wanted to go over that for anybody that didn't know what a nutting stone is. Now I've heard different theories that they put nuts in there and crack them, but I just don't buy that, because that's an awful lot of work making those holes in a rock just to crack nuts. And those holes probably took, I mean, a long time to make in that, just wearing it out with an antler billet. Let's get back at it. Okay, I came down here to just do a little surface hunting in this gravel, because there's a nice wash in certain places, and I got one here. It looks like it may have damage, I don't know, but check it out. It looks like Coshocton flint. Really nice looking flint. And you can see this gravel wash looks really nice. This is the base right here. This tan looking color. But there's gravel fanned out all through it. But look right here. Let's pick it up. Oh, it's a Pentagonal. Hold on. It's a Pentagonal. Yeah, you can see it's an unnotched Pentagonal. Very thin. Wow, this guy was a craftsman now. Very thin. Look at that. Very thin point. And you can see it's perfect angle right there and on the other side. But here, look, I don't know. That is not a clean break. It's been reworked. Maybe it broke on them. Maybe they snapped it and then figured they could just still use it and reworked it like that. But I can see reworking. Can you see that? Yeah, it's not a clean snap. Very nice. Very nice. Some of this stuff puzzles me sometimes. Now here is a hard stone. And it's busted off here. But it's got like flat facets sort of on it. There, it's got one dished out here, and you can clearly see, I don't know if you can see that on camera, gouge marks and scratches going this way where it's dished out. Same here. This is all flat and scratched up. What it was, who knows? Maybe just a polishing stone of some sort for polishing stone tools. I don't know, but I'm definitely going to take that home and check it out. Well, that's going to do it for us. Make sure you subscribe and stay tuned for the pictures of everything we found today. We'll catch you on the next one.